Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to go over the importance of calling your title company within the first week in which you have a ratified agreement to purchase a home. Ratified meaning you, the sellers, have all come to an agreement on the terms of your purchase. There's a whole list of reasons for why you need to call them. So the first is, what are they charging you? What are you paying them? So just like you've shopped for a house, and agents, lenders, you want to do the same with your title company. I use the term title company all-encompassing. That refers to your title company, your settlement agent, your closing attorney, your escrow company. The terminology varies from one state or one area to the next. But you do want to talk to them about what are their fees. Do not rely on the fees from your initial loan estimate to be accurate to your title company. And here's why. When your lender issues that first loan estimate, for the title fees, they have to use a title company from a list of title companies that they're familiar with, because they're on the hook to within a 10% tolerance of those fees. Or if they have an ownership in the title company, there's zero tolerance. They have to be very accurate. And they're not necessarily going to stick their neck out and guess at the fees of every other title company out there. So don't count on them to be accurate. Talk to your title company, unless you happen to be using the one that your lender put on the initial loan estimate. Another thing you want to talk to them is title insurance coverage. It's usually pretty straightforward, but in some states you may have various coverages, basic, enhanced, things like that. They may call it different names, super, double, golden, eagle coverage. So you want to find out, which one do you want? Also, do you want the owner's policy or not? It's optional. Now, if your contract has the seller paying the owner's title insurance policy, then you're going to get it anyhow. The seller's already paying it. Sometimes you have additional riders that you can get. So again, talk to your title company in detail about what it is that you would like and what do you want covered out of your title insurance. An important question to ask your title company is, are they going to require a survey? And if they are going to require a survey, do they want a location drawing or a boundary survey? There's some distinctions here. One's done in the office, one's done in the field. A location drawing tends to run $100, maybe up to $500. A boundary survey could be as cheap as a few $100s, as much as $10,000 or more. A location drawing is helpful in looking for encroachments, and it's accurate within a foot. A boundary survey, they go out there, mark the boundaries, it's accurate to within 1/8 of an inch. As a lender, what we're looking for is a lender's title insurance policy that does not have a survey exception. Many title insurers will issue that without getting a survey. Now, you'll have the survey exception on the owner's policy, but that does not impact the lender. Two states that most likely will not issue that are Florida and Texas. You're almost always going to have to get a survey of one kind or another in Florida or Texas. Now, in both cases, sometimes they can reuse a previous survey, maybe from the seller, or if it's a refinance, the survey from your original purchase. If not, you have to order one and find out, again, which one you have to get, location or boundary. If they do require one, you have two options on how to order. You can ask the title company to order one on your behalf, or you can go order one from any licensed surveyor on your own, and then when you get it, provide it to your title company. Now, I want to stress the importance of this. I'm going to tell you about a recent deal where the title company didn't notify the buyer until about a month into the transaction that they were going to require a boundary survey. Prior to that, I'm not sure if they discussed the need for any kind of survey. But at this point, they want a full boundary survey, and the surveyors are running about a 45 to 60 day turn time. So it's really throws the closing off kilter. So don't let this happen to you. Please talk to your title company about their needs for a survey. Another one is who needs to show up at your closing. So you want to ask them up front, because even if somebody is not on the loan or the deed or both, your title company might require them to show up at closing. I had a case of that recently, within the last year. The borrower or buyer, one buyer, he was on the loan and the deed. His wife was on neither. The wife was off in Europe. And he's getting ready to come into the closing. Title company goes, "Where's your wife?" He goes, "She's in Europe." "Well, she needs to be here." First they try to point the client back to the lender, but I'm pointing out to them, we don't need her to be there. She's not on the deed, she's not on the loan. We're not requiring it. So it was a title company requirement. Very important. Talk to your title company. Who needs to show up at your closing? And there's another one. How to bring money to your closing. Very important. Do they want a certified check from you? Are they going to take a personal check, even maybe for a small amount? Don't assume that they will. Do they want the funds wired? You want to get that hammered down early in. Now, if they say they want the funds wired, there are scams out there and you need to be very careful. During the process, you may receive wire instructions by email. And I'm going to tell you now, there's no lender and no real estate agent out there that's going to email you wire instructions. You get an email, anything like that, you can delete it. They're not going to do it. They all are aware of the scams. Now, if you get an email from your title company with wire instructions, call the title company at a number that you know, not the one in the email. Make sure it's one that you actually know, and verify if they sent you that email and if those wire instructions are real. In addition, make sure that you are familiar with your bank's wiring policy. You don't want to get to closing and to find out that your bank requires 1, 2, 3 business day lead time to initiate a wire, or even worse, that they will only wire a certain amount per day. When talking to your title company, they're going to want a contact person with your lender. You don't want to give them the name of your loan officer. Your loan officer does not handle the title order or any of the follow-up with it. It is usually the loan officer's processor that does that. So you want to make sure that you have the contact information for that processor, and that is the information you want to give to your title company as a contact person. Now, along the process, they may switch that up and then put the title company in contact with the lender's closer. How do you want your names to show on the deed? How do you want the ownership on the deed? There are different ways of owning a property. One thing you can do, because your lender is going to submit a title order, take a look at your application. How do they have it listed as you are taking title? Look on the application. Does it match up with your expectations? If not, talk to both your lender and the title company and get it correct. So make sure how the names are going, how the ownership is on there is correct on both ends. You want to do that early in, so there's not a lot of scrambling at the end. Do you plan to take title to your home under your trust? If so, you want to let your lender know, because they're going to need to approve the trust papers. And 2, they might not even allow you to take title under trust. So you want to get that squared away early in. You also want to provide a copy to your title company for any requirements that they may have, and just to firm up that they understand that you're taking title this way when they draw up the deed and make arrangements for your closing. A couple items that rarely come up, but if they do, you want to talk to your title company about. That involves when you get to the closing, if you plan to use either a mobile notary or a mail-away closing. Mail-away closings tend to be used more maybe for vacation homes. You live in New York, you're buying a vacation home in Florida, for example. And instead of attending the closing, your title company makes arrangements to get the paperwork to you for your closing. Very often they use an overnight express service, and you will have to go somewhere, sign, have it notarized, and send it back the same way. The other is a mobile notary where they'll just meet you somewhere. Say you're on vacation a week of your closing. Maybe you're buying a house in North Carolina, for example, and you're on vacation in California. Well, then they make arrangements for mobile notary to meet you with the documents out there in California, and you sign them, and they work with your title company, get the paperwork back to them. These all need some lead time, just because it's not the regular schedule for closing. So you do want to talk to your title company, find out how to coordinate that. The last item on the list is power of attorney. There are two kinds of power of attorneys. There's a general power of attorney and a specific power of attorney. General power of attorney has broad powers and is not allowed in your mortgage transaction. You will need a specific power of attorney. Specific power of attorney is drawn up specifically for that transaction. So one, you want to check with your lender, make sure that they allow a power of attorney. And if they do they allow it under the circumstance that is requiring a power of attorney for your closing? If they do, then you're going to talk to your title company and have them draw up the power of attorney. Your title company will then either give you the power of attorney to forward to your lender, or they will forward it directly to your lender. Your lender will then need to approve the power of attorney. Once the power of attorney is to their liking, in other words, the lender's approved it, then you can get with your title company and they will make arrangements to have it properly signed. I hope that you have found this to be helpful. If you have any questions, leave comments below or reply to everybody. Also, please hit the like button, subscribe. I update regularly. I'd also be happy to assist you in any of the states in which I'm licensed, and you can find those in the description below, as well as my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Love to help you with your mortgage, whether you're buying or refinancing. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.